I'm so happy to be back here at the largest and best Veterans Day Parade in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You know, we know it takes a lot of work to pull this together, so thank you to everyone who helped to make this happen and to bring this celebration back to media this year. I'm so honored to be joining you in honoring our veterans today and every day. This is personal for me. My father served in the Marines twice, once as a teenager at the end of World War II and then again in Korea. My sister served in the Army, as did both grandfathers, most of my uncles, and an aunt. So I have a deep and personal respect for the sacrifices of our service members and veterans, and that family commitment to public service is one of the reasons I'm in Congress today. But in addition to honoring the military service of our veterans, I want to thank all of our veterans for their continued service to our country as first responders, as coaches and board members, at blood drives, community cleanups, and food banks. Because in my experience, veterans don't finish their service when they're discharged. Right? Our veterans continue to volunteer in our communities in all the places where they can make a difference to help their neighbors and help our country. That respect fuels my commitment to making sure that we as a country honor our great debt to our veterans, as well as current service members and their families, for protecting and defending our Constitution and our shared American values. From making sure that veterans and their families have financial security and high-quality medical care, including for exposure to burn pits, to addressing veteran homelessness and hunger, I'm proud to work with all of my colleagues in Congress to make sure that we serve those who fought to protect and defend our country. So to each and every veteran out there, if you ever need assistance receiving any of your earned or due benefits, or if you need help navigating the Department of Veteran Affairs, please don't hesitate to reach out to my office. It's our honor to serve you, and the staff in my office are more than happy to advocate on your behalf. You can reach us by phone at 610-626-2020, or you can send us an email through the website, which is scanlon.house.gov. While we may never be able to repay you fully for your service, please accept our undying gratitude. And know that as your representative in Congress, I will always honor the commitment to ensure that you and your families have the services and the resources you need. Thank you. Okay, and with that, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce you to my colleague in Congress, my fellow University of Pennsylvania law grad, a Marine veteran who sits on the Veterans Committee in Congress, Connor Lamb.
Hello, I want to thank the mayor and all the local elected leadership for putting on this parade, but mostly I want to thank all of you. Veterans will never, ever ask for any recognition for the service that they performed. Veterans across generations have done all sorts of different jobs in all sorts of different parts of the world. Many of them have no obvious glory associated with them at all, but we would not be the country that we are if we weren't a country where 1 million people at a time would still raise their hands and say, send me where you want to send me and tell me to do what you need me to do. That's what sets the United States apart from every other country in the world, and it's why every time there's a crisis, the world looks to the United States to resolve it. It's because of the people that you're here honoring today. So I'm going to admit something to you that I'm loath to admit, but in Western Pennsylvania, where I come from, I have not seen a Veterans Day parade as strong and well attended as this one. So you guys are up on us on that one. It means a lot. It means a lot to people that serve that you come out and spend your time doing this. So thank you very much. It's nice to meet you.
Have you noticed I had to pull the microphone down? It's a pleasure for me to introduce the Attorney General, Josh Shapiro, to join us today. And Josh, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, thank you. And It is good to be with you here today. The Congresswoman is right. This parade is extraordinary, and this community is also quite extraordinary. Y'all represent our 800,000 veterans here in Pennsylvania so very well. Those veterans come from all walks of life, from the western part of the state, the eastern part of the state, rural, suburban, and urban communities, black, white, and brown. They've lived different experiences. They look different, but they share at least one thing in common. Each and every one of them is worthy of our praise, of our thanks, and of our deep appreciation. When you're growing up, you have certain memories that stand out to you, and you think as you become an adult that that was your first memory in life. And I'm not sure whether it's first or second or third, but I know distinctly one of the first things I remember as a young boy living on a naval base where my father served as a medical officer, were the white uniforms, the people standing at attention, the medals that they wore on their chests, and the important work it seemed like they were doing, which now, of course, reflecting back on that, it was indeed quite important work that they were doing. It was one of the first memories that I've had. And throughout my lifetime of service, I've confronted veterans and seen them do extraordinary things. Heard the stories of the work they did overseas and the work they do here at home. I'm in debt to all of you and thankful to each and every one of you for the service that you've provided to our country. And I'm indebted to your family and your friends and your support system that were there for you when you went out to serve the rest of us. We all have a responsibility here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and indeed across this country, not just to honor you with our thanks, but to honor you with our education, to honor you by making sure that the children of Delaware County and indeed Pennsylvania go to that museum and learn, as I did today from Walt and the others who were there, from Ed and others, to make sure that we are able to carry on your stories, to make sure that that service and sacrifice that you've provided is something that the next generation learns and teaches their friends and teaches the next generation after them. We'll honor you by saying thanks today. We'll honor you by educating ourselves each and every day. And of course, in government, we indeed have a responsibility to honor you by making sure you have the support and the resources you need now that you have served us. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. And on behalf of the people of the Office of Attorney General here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, you're in our hearts, you're in our prayers, and we are indebted to each and every one of you. Thank you so very much. God bless you all. Thank you.